Hey everyone, my name is Tia Torres, and this is my first ever CCSI episode. This is a podcast idea that I've had for many, many years. Of course, I envisioned it to be like this big TV show, kind of like CSI Miami, where there's all these investigators and the whole crew, gets together and kind of analyzes each dog attack. That was how I had it in my mind, but I don't have the money for that. So we're going to have to settle for a podcast. Although, depending on how this goes, I wouldn't mind having guest speakers on as we talk about each case. So that's what this is about. This is about, going into, the archives of the news stories and whatnot, and picking out certain cases where a dog has attacked a human and figuring out why. What happened and what could have happened or what could have been done to prevent this from happening ever again. Were there signs? So back when I was living in California in Los Angeles County, I was called upon many times to be an expert witness in court cases. Most of the time it was for the defense, the pit bull owner. But I would tell them straight out, I'm sorry, if your dog or you did something wrong, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to ruin my reputation. I'm going to tell the truth. And, I'm kind of here as Switzerland. I don't have a horse in this race. Like, I'm going to say it like it is. And there was one particular case, there was two that really stuck in my mind, but one particular where I was called upon to be a witness for the people that own the pit bull. And the scenario was the pit bull got out of the yard and attacked the gas meter, the meter reader, the gas man. And their claim was, as he was going around the perimeter of the outside of their fence, that he accidentally kicked the bottom baseboard of their wooden fence and kicked the wood, the wood in, and then the dog got out under the fence. That was their story. So I had asked before I went to court, I said, can I go to the yard? I need to see the yard. Again, just like CSI. Okay, I had to see the scene of the crime. So I get there. And the first thing I notice is that it's a typical 6-foot wooden privacy fence. The kind that have like the slats, the slats that go up and down. And there's like two support beams, like 2x4s that hold it all together. So I see that it's one of those fences. And being someone who we use those fences all the time, like I'm very, very, very familiar with that kind of fencing. So the first thing I notice is that the fence was built with what we call the ugly side in and the pretty side out. Meaning on the inside of the yard is where you can see the 2x4s. Okay. So if you're on the outside, it looks like just like smooth, just like the planks. So I'm like, wait a minute, if the gas meter guy was walking around the outside and he by accident kicked the bottom of the fence, that 2x4 down there would have stopped it from going in. Something's not adding up. So I'm walking around the fence and I look over and they have one of those type of trash cans, the kind that you roll out, big plastic trash cans that you roll out to the street. And then the truck comes with the little claws and picks it up and dumps it in. And it's the kind with like the flat lid. And it's like the heavy duty kind, the kind that, a lot of people have. And it's up against the fence on the inside of the yard. And I go over there and right above the lid of the trash can on the wooden fence, I see toenail scratches. Lots of them. Not just like it happened in a day, but like lots of them. And just like the big light bulb went off in my head. This dog jumps on top of that trash can to see over the fence, probably barking at people. Who knows? Years of doing it because there was so many scratches on the wooden fence. And my assumption is he probably one day just decided to go over, and chase down the gas man. Or maybe the gas man teased him. I don't know. The point is, it was the owner's fault. Not even the dog's fault. Certainly not the gas man's fault. So I told the truth, and because these people were trying to get, because the gas company was suing them, and then they were countersuing, and there was like a lot of money involved, and kind of ruined it for everybody. Maybe not the gas company, but the pit bull owners were definitely not going to be getting any money. So again, that's how I am, and that's how I'm going to look at these cases. And what I would like to do is, for the first couple of episodes or so, is talk to you about specific incidents with me. I have been attacked twice and mauled once. And I'd like to talk about what happened, what should have happened, what not to do again. Is it the dog's fault? Is it my fault? At what point do we decide if a dog should be euthanized because of their actions, or is the human to blame? So this is what CCSI is about, and it'll both be educational and pretty graphic at times. Already off the top of my head, the first two cases that I'm going to talk about were infamous back in the day. Not going to give it away right now. All right, well, you know what? This is going to be a podcast not for the pity lovers. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, this is about all types of dogs, but I don't want to hear like, oh my gosh, you're making the dog look bad. I'm just gonna talk about what I see. So if you're one of those pity people, or you love little, rainbows and unicorns, and don't watch this. Don't watch this. I just don't have time for that. This is about keeping everybody safe, dog included. Okay, this is about dogs that were wrongly accused and possibly wrongly euthanized. This is about keeping humans safe, children safe, and being a responsible dog owner. So there you have it. I'm not going to pull any punches on this one. All right, well, let's get started, shall we?